Hello, and welcome to Hero Wars Info. My name is Ryan. As always, my goal is to make sure you are the most efficient Hero Wars player you possibly can be, whether you are new or old. Want to make sure you get to the top of your server and dominate your opponents. Now today, I want to talk about 5 early game mistakes to avoid if you are a newer player. So the game Hero Wars is not incredibly complicated once you've played it for a while, but at the beginning it can be complicated. There's a lot of different modes in the game that you don't know what is the best, what you should be focusing on, and I just want to get into those and kind of focus on what you can be doing to succeed. So number 1, and this is probably the most important, you have to make sure you are building the right heroes. I've seen it so many times, and this happened to me too whenever I started, that you join the game, you play around for a little bit, and you get a few heroes when you go into the campaign, but then, you just kind of start building those heroes up because those are the ones that you have. You start spending resources, you start spending energy to make sure that you max them out, and then whenever other better heroes come along, you don't have any resources, and you basically have to start over if you are going to level them. So, I think it is very important that early on in the game, you are figuring out a team of 5 to build out. And those are the ones that you need to be focusing on. I do have a video on what I consider the best heroes in the game. So, if you have some time, you can go ahead and take a look at that and build a team of 5 based off of a combination of those. But it is really important because this game is so much about resource management. It's super important that you don't spend resources on heroes that you're not going to be using later in the game. So that's number 1. Make sure that you are building up the correct heroes. Number 2, and this kind of goes along the same hand in hand here, make sure that you're only building up 5 heroes. Now, I know what you're thinking. There's Grand Arena, right? There's Osh. You need different heroes to build out. That is true. But at the beginning of the game, your main focus should be building on one team that is as strong as it possibly can be. Why? Because that's going to help you move further in Arena. That's going to help you move further in the Tower. That's going to help you be better in your Guild War, with your guild. So, you really want to be able to focus on specific heroes and only 5 heroes. Make sure that the team is good, test it a little bit. Once you feel good about the team, once you like those heroes, just focus on building those out. Now, whenever I built out my original team, I believe it was Aurora, Celeste, Nebula, Zhu, and Yasmin. Not that great of a team, but it did okay. But my goal was to try to find heroes that had different items that they needed and different skins. So, Zhu is a strength-based hero. So I wanted to make sure that I only had 1 or 2 strength-based heroes in my team. Celeste and Aurora, Aurora was also a strength-based hero, but different items than Zhu needed. Celeste had different items, but also an intelligence hero. And then Yasmin and Nebula were agility-based heroes, and they needed similar items, but they also had a few different items as well that were kind of differentiated them. With that, I was able to say basically anything that I was doing or any items that I was getting was going to help one of those heroes, and I could use all my types of skin stones that I was collecting early in the beginning. So if it is possible, go ahead and do that. Find a team that you like, that you enjoy, and then build that team out, and only that team out. Now, once you've built them out to max or close to max, and you have them, you know which teams you can beat and which teams you can't, start to add 1 hero at a time after that. 1 hero that's going to be able to kind of jump into that team and help in specific circumstances. For me, that was Sebastian. I think Sebastian was the first hero I built as my number 6 hero, and then I picked another one, maxed them out, then moved on, and that's what I've continued to do. I only really focus in on 1 hero at a time now that I have a team. So, I would highly suggest that you do that as well. Next tip, make sure that you are doing all of your guild activity and that you're not letting those go by. And whenever I say guild activity, I'm talking about these daily quests and the guild quests. All of this stuff helps to get rewards from Prestige, and the daily quests are pretty essential just to give you some additional items that you're going to need. Now, most of these you can do without using any emeralds. It's just going to force you to either open outland chests, go into the tower, go do missions in the airship, things like that. Now, you don't think that these resources are that many, and it really isn't. But as the game goes on, this is a resource management game. And it's super important that you're just continually building up your stockpile of resources so that when events come around that do need that resource, you're going to be able to maximize those events to get more resources and the pattern repeats. So make sure you're doing everything that you can, arena, grand arena, ranking up as high as you can per day. But I'd say the most important thing in terms of the daily activities is the tower. Now, the tower is going to be essential in getting you gold early on, and it also gives you tower coins and some items. Now, at the very beginning of the tower, I think it's only blue items that you're going to get. Those aren't going to be that great. They'll help you in the moment, but later on, they're going to be pretty worthless. Then once it starts to get purples, oranges, and reds, those are where it's going to be, those items still help me to this day, right? Like Alchemist sets, those are great. Like Devourer of Mages, I need a ton of those. The Morts cards. So Tower is still doing a lot for me. And it does give you a lot of extra gold. And as a new player, you are especially gold strapped. So making sure that you can max out on the Tower each day is pretty essential. That's also another reason why I recommend just starting with 5 heroes and building that team out, because then you have a much better chance of actually completing the Tower on a day-to-day basis. Next up, make sure that you are joining a guild, and make sure you're not avoiding a guild. And I've made a video on what you should be doing in terms of guild hopping and moving up through the ranks, but at the very beginning, as soon as you can join a guild, it's very important to do so. Why? It will open up a lot of different types of modes that you'll be able to continue to collect different resources that will help both your heroes and your titans. So what do I mean by that? As soon as you open up the guild and join one, you'll be able to have access to Guild Island, where you can start to summon your titans, which are going to be a pretty integral part of Guild War. It will allow you to eventually get into Asgard, Titan Valley, the Sanctuary where pets come, and eventually, if you continue to build out your team, you'll be able to get into Guild War and start getting some trophies that will help you strengthen up your heroes and your titans as well. So, it's super important that you're maximizing everything that a guild offers. In addition to that, you also have access to these prestige gifts. And again, they're not a ton, right? You get 800 artifact coins, 400 energy, enchantment runes, some titan potions. It's not a lot of stuff, but every little bit helps. Even for someone who's been playing for over 2.5 years, all these resources I will gladly take. You're never going to have enough resources that you're just not going to want them. So always continue to collect, continue to max out each day what you can do. Now lastly, my last tip is, the game is called Hero Wars. It's not called Titan Wars, but it is incredibly important to focus on Titans too. I've seen a lot of players who say, I am only care and it's only fun for me to build out a hero team. I'm going to kind of ignore Titans. And while Titans can be... You think they can be ignored? They really can't if you're going to succeed at this game. Number one, the dungeon will help you to get gold as you continue to move through. It will help you give you Titan Soul Stones, and if you don't level up your Titans, you're not going to be able to do that effectively. Also, as you level up your Titans, it will give you these sparks of power that are going to be used to upgrade your heroes. So they kind of go hand in hand and are linked in that way. You want to make sure you have plenty so that you can upgrade all the heroes that you want. Besides that, and this is just super important, in terms of Guild War, Titans are pretty essential, and they're kind of the hardest thing to do early on. If you have a strong Titan team and you're in the Silver League or Bronze League, you're going to be able to beat a lot of opponents just because they're not going to be able to get past you on the bridge. So it is very important to try to level those up. Honestly, I would probably try to level up my Titan team just as much. I would be spending as many emeralds on that as I do with my hero team. Because if you have a strong Titan team, a lot of guilds will gladly welcome you into the fold. All right, I think that is going to be it. Thanks so much for watching. Please go ahead, like, and subscribe, and we'll talk to you later.